Good morning everyone. So my name is Jared Maximus Juni. So today I will be introduce you for my presentation is about factor that affected the worker in Malaysia. So today we're gonna discuss about how many gender that's only going a work at Malaysia. So I will start with the introduction. Gender is a critical factor in Malaysian workforce and marked by a record for female participate rate of 56% that is still trail the male rate of 80% despite women. Comprising over the 60% of university graduate, many exit the mid-career due to caring, giving and creating a single peak and participation patterns. This is compounded by a wage gap where the women earn roughly at 82% of their male counterpart salary. However, the introduction of flexibility, work law and a growing economy care over the economy are now being implemented as external economic tools to retain talent and meet the global ESG standard. Meanwhile, the feature is about distinct characteristics where female workforce participation peaked in the late 20th century and dropped in significant after age 30, unlike many neighboring economy. Malaysian like as a second peak, meaning many women who exit for caring giving do not return to the formal labor market, while a woman represents over 60% of university enrollment and graduate. This academic domain has not yet translated into the equal representation in senior leadership or board level position, often referred to as the leadership. Back to the summary. So Malaysia maintains a record female labor force participate rate of 56.6%, yet this remains significantly lower than a male rate of over 80%. The primary cause is a mid-career exit and typically around age 30 due to caregiving responsibility, which act as a permanent barrier for the many women returning to the formal economy. Alright, next up we're going to introduce about the average engagement level factor that affect the worker in Malaysia, still and gender. So we're going to start back to the introduction. The employee engagement in Malaysia reflects an unquit motivate burnout paradox that differs significantly by a gender, while the woman often reports slightly higher level of psychology, attachment and ambition in their roles. They simultaneously experience higher rate of daily stress and exhaustion compared to their male counterpart. Meanwhile, in feature, the engagement for a woman is unquietly feature driven by the direct advocacy. Statistics show that a female employee engagement score is 7 points higher when she has a manager who actively champion her career development. Conversely, that resentment managerial slump, where manager engagement fell to 22%, has disproportionately erode the engagement of the woman daily. Also, a defining a feature of the 2026 workforce is that 21% of female employees are classified as engaged, compared to 90% of male. However, this is higher engagement is paired with significant burnout feature. There was 31% of women report chronic daily stress, largely due to the second shift of domestic responsibility. So we go to the summary about the average engagement level factor that affected the work in Malaysia. So what we know about employee engagement in Malaysia is characterized by higher ambition but rising exhaustion. While a woman report is higher engagement rate is 21% than men have 90%. They also experience significantly higher daily stress, like 31% due to the second shift of domestic responsibility. For both gender, the primary factor driving engagement having a shift for the simple salaries to managerial advocacy and flexibility work arrangement, which are now essential tools for retaining talents in the higher inflation, tech-driven economy. That's all for me. So I will pass my presentation to the next team. That's all.
Good morning everyone, my name is Muhammad Izul Hanif bin Ahmad Sabri, number metric 17 DSB 23F 2008. Today I would like to present the finding regarding the factor that affect workers in Malaysia, specifically focusing on their marital status. The describing the data, as you can see from this pie chart, the workforce is divided into three main categories. Married, this group made up the largest portion of the workers at 58.5%. Single, this is the second largest group, representing 36.2% of the total. Widowed or divorced, this group account for the remaining 5.3%. Go to introduction. In the contemporary Malaysia labour market, the demographic profile of the workforce plays a crucial role in determining organisation productivity and employer engagement strategy. Among various demographic variables, marital status has emerged as a key indicator that influences a worker's professional priorities, risk tolerance, and long-term career commitment. As the workforce navigates the economic landscape of 2026, understanding the distribution. Go to features. The 2026 workforce landscape is defined by stability mobility divides. The merit majority ensures the economic with institutional knowledge and steady productivity, while the single minority serves as the engine for innovation and agility. go to summaries. The 2026 workforce landscape is defined by a stability mobility divide. The merit majority ensures the economic with institutional knowledge and steady productivity. Why the single minority serve as the engine for innovation and labor equality for organization to remain competitive. They move away from one size fits all management and instead of a personalized benefit that reflect this specific life stage. Balancing the career velocity sought by single professional with the life integration required by married employers. Go to conclusion. In conclusion, the demographic landscape of the Malaysia workforce in 2026 reveals and critical intersection between personal life stage and professional expectations. The data confirms that marital status is not merely a social label but a powerful predictor of workers' behavior and economic priorities. Based on the bar chart, average marital status. This bar chart illustrated the distribution of the marital status within our sample group. As we can see, single is the most common status at approximately 45%, followed closely by married at around 14%, the category for divorce and widowers, representing a significantly smaller portion of the data, both falling below 100. We go to introduction. In the contemporary Malaysian labour market, understanding the demographic profile of the workforce is essential for developing effective human resource strategies. Among various demographic variables, Malaysia's status has emerged as a key indicator that influences workers' professional properties, risk tolerance, a long-term career commitment. The workforce deposition show a significant majority as married employers followed by single work and a small segment of widowed or divorced individual at 5.3%. We go to features. This distribution significantly influences national work culture by shifting the focus towards sustainability and work-life integrations, because married individuals often manage dual roles, balancing high-level professional KPI with domestic management. They prioritize of organization features like flexible work arrangement, and predictable schedule. We go to summary and conclusion. The Malaysia residential market has transitioned from the period of recovery into a phase of selective outperformance, while the national house price index remains relatively flat. Service segment, particularly those linked to infrastructure, are seeing modern appreciation between 1% and 5%. For conclusion, marital status is powerful predictor of worker behavior and economic priorities in Malaysia. While the dominance of married workers establishes a market that values sustainability, the single segment provides the necessary flexibility to navigate a rapidly changing the digital economy. Successful organization strategy in 2026 must be dual factored, catering to the diverse needs of each demographic to foster a resilient, inclusive, and productive labor environment. That is all. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syahriman bin Shamsul. Today I would like to present about the factors that affect workers in Malaysia. Malaysia is currently facing increasing economic pressure due to the imbalance between income growth and the rising cost of living. This issue has a direct impact on the financial well-being of workers. In this presentation, I will explain several key factors including salary levels, cost of living, and wage growth trends based on the data shown in the graph. Graph 1. Salary versus cost of living in Malaysia. The first graph shows a comparison between salary levels and the cost of living in Malaysia. The median salary is around RM2,800 to RM3,000, while the average salary is slightly higher at about RM4,000. However, the cost of living in urban areas can reach up to RM5,000. This indicates that many workers, especially those living in cities, may not earn enough to comfortably cover their daily expenses. 2. Minimum wage versus median salary. The second graph compares the minimum wage and the median salary. The minimum wage in Malaysia is RM1,500, while the median salary is almost double that amount. This highlights a significant income gap between low-income workers and average earners. Those earning minimum wage are more likely to struggle meeting their basic needs. Next, graph 3. Price increase versus wage growth. The third graph shows the comparison between price increases and wage growth. Food prices have increased by about 50%, while wage growth is only around 7% to 8%. This clearly shows that prices are rising faster than wages, leading to a decrease in workers' purchasing power over time. Features. Overall, the three graph shows that workers in Malaysia are facing increasing financial challenges. The high cost of living, income gap, and slow wage growth force workers to manage their finance more carefully. Many workers need to cover various commitments such as housing, transportation, and daily expenses. Some may also need to work overtime or find additional source of income to maintain financial stability. For summary, based on all three graphs, there is a clear gap between salary levels and cost of living in Malaysia. In addition, wage growth is lower compared to the rise in price. This situation places financial pressure on workers, especially those in the low income group. In conclusion, the imbalance between income and cost of living is a major issue affecting workers in Malaysia. Therefore, appropriate measures should be taken to ensure that wage growth keeps up with the rising cost of living in order to improve the overall quality of life for workers. So thank you for your attention. That's all from me and my group members.